The first riot-related death has been reported in London since the violence broke out Saturday night. A 26-year-old man who was found with a gunshot wound to the head in Croydon, which is in South London, on Monday night has died, according to police. Now some 16,000 police officers are on the streets of London as tensions have now turned deadly between groups of young people and police. Police say the riots in London Monday night were the worst in current memory. For the third straight night, people set buildings on fire, looted stores, and attacked police with bottles and fireworks. Hundreds have been arrested. This all started last week after 29-year-old Mark Duggan was shot and killed by London police. Violence first broke out over the weekend in the district of Tottenham in North London and has now spread to 3 major British cities. CNN's Atika Schubert joins us now from London. Atika, some are saying that this rioting is all because of high unemployment and benefit cuts, but then there are the others who are saying that it could be racially motivated because the man police killed last week was black. What are you hearing in terms of race being behind this?
I'm hearing a lot of different things, and I think it's very complicated. There are a lot of different factors to this. Clearly, what we know is that the trigger was the killing of Mark Duggan by local police. In fact, there's just been some news on that came out. Basically, they found that there was a firearm on the scene that did not belong to police, but they didn't fire any bullets. Originally, police said there was an exchange of gunfire in which he was killed. That's now being called into question. And it just goes to show that the family was very angry about his death, but they held a very peaceful protest. It then degenerated into a riot. Now, that's what happened on Saturday night. What people are asking is then, how did it become riots on Sunday night and then a full-blown looting, sporadic looting and rioting on Monday night? So I don't think there's any one particular answer. We do know that the shooting triggered it, but it does seem that perhaps the recession is hitting people very hard. Benefit cuts in particular are being felt very sharply, cutting a lot of the youth clubs and other activities that kept a lot of teenagers off the streets. And a lot of these, unfortunately, packs of teens seem to have basically jumped in with the looting, vandalizing local shops like this grocery store behind me that went up in flames last night. And it seems to be a whole host of different factors, and just generally a venting of anger by some of these angry youths.
And some are calling this the worst violent outbreak since the race riots back in 1981. I mean, can they really be compared?
I think they can definitely be compared. This is exactly what people are saying, that it reminds them. You know, I just actually spoke to a former police officer who was in Tottenham during some of those disturbances, those riots in the 80s, and he said it's like deja vu. He remembers seeing some of these exact same scenes, running battles between some of those teenagers at the time and police. And he says it's a lot of the same thing. And again, some of the same situations that we were seeing in terms of context, a recession, economically speaking, people were really doing hard. Unemployment was high, benefits being cut across the board. We're seeing all of that being repeated again, and that might be one reason we're seeing the violence again.
What about this increased police presence? Will that help the situation at all, do you think?
I think it's probably going to help, certainly in certain areas. A lot of people I've been speaking to, both in East London, South, North, and here now in the West, say last night the police were just stretched too thin. There were maybe 30 policemen and 150 of these sort of looters and rioters. So having more police will help, but at this point it's so widespread it's much more difficult to get it under control. A lot of people are asking if there are going to be more forceful measures in place, water cannons, tear gas, maybe even a curfew in some areas. Those things have not been announced yet, but if things don't get under control tonight, you can guarantee there will be demands for these things tomorrow.
Yeah, from the looks of it, though, even if they did put a curfew in place, who knows if it would work. Atika Schubert in London, thank you.